This is Neal, back with your Week 3 predictions. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Thursday night football. The Giants versus the Redskins. I'm going to take the New York Giants. They're at home. It's Thursday night football. They're under the lights. I think they're going to win this game. I think Eli Manning has a good game. The Redskins' defense is very good at stopping the run. So look for Eli to really use Odell Beckham. The Giants win this game. Ravens at home against the Bengals. Baltimore's 0-2. Look for them to win this game for sure. The Bengals defense may be a very powerful defense. They look great. They're already 2-0. But Baltimore needs to get back on track. John Harbaugh's got to figure it out. Don't expect anything else. The Baltimore Ravens win this game. Flacco throws for a ton of yards. So does Steve Smith, catching over 150, I'd say 150, 175 receiving yards. He's going to have a monster game as well. The Ravens win this one. The Raiders at the Browns. What a game. That Oakland offense looked phenomenal. Crabtree and Cooper combining for over 100 yards. Derek Carr just made that Baltimore Ravens defense look average at best. And you saw what Denver, how they performed against Baltimore. They looked terrible. Peyton Manning didn't even throw a touchdown. And there you see Derek Carr marching in, making it look easy. The Oakland Raiders look like they are back on track and in a winning state. They're 1-1, but they turn it around, set history, making Harbaugh's Ravens go 0-2 for the first time ever. Very impressive feat by the Raiders. Now, can they keep it up? That's what matters. They're at the Browns. Just found out Josh McCown is starting. It's going to be a close game. The Browns have a very good defense with Joe Hayden, Desmond Bryant, that new draft pick, the defensive tackle, Danny Shelton. They're a good team. I'm going to take the Raiders in this one. I think they go up to 2-1. I think Latavius Murray gets over 17-18 handoffs this game. They're going to have to rely heavily on the run with a very powerful Browns pass defense. The Raiders win this one in a nail-biter. Colts at the Titans. Colts at the Titans. I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts. Wow, they struggled Monday Night Football. I don't think anyone expected the Jets' defense to harass Luck the way they did. It was a very surprising week on Monday Night Football. Everyone expected the Colts to really come out to play after their performance against the Buffalo Bills. It made Buffalo look really good week 1, but it also made Indy look really bad week 1 and week 2. I just don't see Andrew Luck, playing that well this season, but he's still a premier quarterback. He's going to carry his team. They can beat Marcus Mariota and the Titans. It'll be a good game, but look for the Colts to win that game. Steelers at the Rams. This is going to be a good one. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their offense torched the 49ers last week. It was unreal. Big Ben was the best quarterback of the week. I called that one. Did not call D'Angelo Williams rushing for 3 touchdowns and being the best fantasy running back of the week. Did also not expect Antonio Brown to be the number 1 wide receiver. When you have 3 guys on the offense just dominating at that state, this is the NFL and they're making the 49ers look very adequate at best. People completely forgot about that Vikings game week 1. Wow, oh wow, the Big Ben Roethlisberger Steelers look tough on offense. Le'Veon is back. The Steelers win that game. Patriots versus the Jaguars. New England's at home. Allen Hurns will get his fantasy touchdown. You can start him. Feel comfortable, but the Patriots win this game. No question here. Vikings at home against the Chargers. I'm going to take Minnesota. I think they're slowly going to turn it around. Teddy Bridgewater hasn't been looking great, but Adrian Peterson finally figured it out. His first carry in over a year was against the Niners. He didn't have any carries in the preseason. That's just coaching problems. I don't know what they were thinking. Look for the Vikings to win this game and Adrian Peterson to have a monster game. Now we have the Panthers at home against the Saints. I'm going to take Carolina. I think Cam Newton's going to have a big game. Ted Ginn will also have a big game. It's going to be a shootout. Breeze is supposed to be banged up. If he plays, whether he plays or not, that Panthers defense is still pretty tough to beat. I'm taking Carolina to win this game. Falcons at the Cowboys. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons. I think their offense looks great. Julio Jones, Matt Ryan tossing the ball up to him. Roddy White didn't show up, but they had Leonard Hankerson, and he had a good game last week as well. That team has so many weapons. They're 2-0. Look for the Falcons to beat the Cowboys, who unfortunately don't have Romo or Dez. It's going to be a long season for Dallas. At least they're 2-0 also. So helps them out, but the Falcons go to 3-0. Next, we have the Eagles at the Jets. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're going to win this game. They're 0-2. The Jets are 2-0. Yes, the Jets' defense is phenomenal, but look for the Philadelphia Eagles to get it together. Sam Bradford's going to have a good game. Even though DeMarco may have a little bit of hamstring injury, whether he plays or not, Chip Kelly's not going to let his team go 0-3. They win this game. They go to 1-2 after this. Texans at home against the Bucs. Houston's going to win this game. The defense is too much for Jameis Winston to handle. Doug Martin can run, but he hasn't looked good in the past 2 to 3 years. It's going to be all Houston here. They are 0-2. They're going to climb up to 1-2. Next, we have the Cardinals at home against the 49ers. Arizona, man, Carson Palmer's about to gunsling that ball. The 49ers got torched on defense. Their secondary looked barely even college level. It just got absolutely massacred. Look for the Cardinals to win this game. The 49ers are going to show up. They got embarrassed at Pittsburgh. Don't look for them to just come out and expect Arizona to win this game easily. They're going to give him a bit of a fight. I think Kaepernick actually plays well this game. They're going to rely heavily on Carlos Hyde, but, fourth quarter, Kaepernick is not the best. So, yeah, he got some garbage time touchdowns against the Steelers, but I expect Arizona to win this game by 10 or more points. That defense is just going to harass the 49ers. And that offense, John Brown, Larry Fitzgerald, too much. Next, we have the Dolphins at home against the Bills. All right, I'm going to take the Dolphins in this game. Yes, that's an upset, even though they're at home. I think the Bills, yes, they did play very well week 1, but their defense got a bit exposed. They have a great pass rush, don't get me wrong. I just don't think their secondary is as strong as it was last year. I think it's taken a little bit of a step back. Look for Miami at home to win this game against the AFC East division rival. Next, we have the Seahawks at home against the Bears. Cam Chancellor's back. The Boom is back in the Legion of Boom. This is going to be really interesting, but I think Seattle runs away with this. Russell Wilson's going to toss quite a few touchdowns. Marshawn may have a couple rushing. This one's going to be a blowout. Jimmy Clausen's playing. Okay, Cutler's not even playing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We don't know, but, this is just all Seattle here. They're at home, 12th man, game over. Lions at home against the Broncos. This is Sunday night football. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to upset the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning has thrown 2 pick sixes back-to-back weeks. Guys falling off, let's be honest. You got to look at Detroit. They're 0-2. They're fighting for their lives. That division isn't as strong as we expected. Minnesota's shaky. The Bears look just in ruins. I thought John Fox would have made a big difference. Clearly, he didn't. Look for the Lions to try to catch up with the Packers and the Minnesota Vikings here and win this game in front of the nation's audience. Next, Monday Night Football. The Packers at home at Lambeau Field against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers to win this game. Simple as that. Aaron Rodgers, even with or without Lacey, is going to toss a bunch of touchdowns. One to Devontae Adams, one to James Jones, one to Randall Cobb, maybe even Richard Rodgers. It's going to be a shootout. Alex Smith will keep it close for a period of time. They're going to run the ball heavily with Jamal Charles. Look for him to get revenge after the way he played last week. But I just see all Green Bay in this one. Bunch of Lambeau leaps again this following week. All right, you guys. Fantasy predictions. At quarterback, starting with confidence, Russell Wilson. He's at home. 12th man. Look for him to just decimate the Chicago Bears defense. At running back, Adrian Peterson. He's at home against the Chargers. Now, see, this could be a shootout. Because it's being a shootout, I expect Adrian Peterson to run a lot, which means at least 2 touchdowns for him and over 100 yards. Most of the other running backs don't have that easy matchups. He's going to have a pretty favorable matchup. Look for him to have a big game. The next running back, a bit underrated, Jonathan Stewart. Yeah, I think he's going to have a big game. They're playing the Saints. I honestly think the Panthers are going to run the ball a lot. Cam Newton will open up the play action, but I think come red zone time, it's all Jonathan Stewart. The Saints just look so out of it, and they're away, so it gets worse for them. Look for Jonathan Stewart to have a big game. Calvin Johnson at wide receiver. Sunday Night Football. It's against the Broncos. Yeah, the Broncos have a stout defense, but look for Megatron to show why he can just take down Peyton Manning and his Optimus Prime Broncos. Yeah, I know, Transformers. If you guys watch the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But look for Calvin Johnson to have a monster game. Other wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. Bang. Yes, sir. Odell Beckham. I think he's going to have a big game. Look for him to catch, one of those crazy catches he usually does. He's on national television. He loves showing off in front of the nation. Look for him to have a big game against the Redskins, a big-time division rival in the NFC East. And next, at tight end, Jared Cook. Let's be honest, the Steelers cannot defend the tight end. Look for Nick Foles to use Jared Cook heavily in this one. Even Kendricks may get a touchdown for all we know, but Jared Cook is going to have a big game. I expect around 50 to 60 yards and at least a touchdown, maybe 2. Kicker, Brandon McManus. All right, the guy, if you don't know who he is, I know you guys are used to Matt Prater at Denver. He's gone. He left a year ago. This is the new kicker in Denver. I expect him to have a big game. Peyton Manning's not going to get into the end zone plenty of times. And, none of the running backs or receivers really will find their way against that stout Detroit Lions defense. Look for a lot of field goals to occur from Denver. Now, a couple of sleepers, both come from the same game. I'm going to say Carlos Hyde at running back. Let's be honest, the 49ers got embarrassed last week. They lost by over 20 points. It was just an ugly, ugly game. The game was basically over by the end of the third quarter. Look for them to rebound a bit, not necessarily win this game, but look for Carlos Hyde to have a good game. Yeah, he was banged up, but I think he's going to play very hard this game. I think that he's going to take around 23 to 25 carries for 120 yards and a touchdown. He's a great sleeper to start. Yes, Arizona's defense is good. Yes, Arizona will most likely win this game. Still, the 49ers need to run the ball if they want any chance in this game. Carlos Hyde has a big game. The other sleeper on the other side, John Brown, he tends to have his biggest games against the 49ers. Look for him to have a big game against the 49ers as well. Carson Palmer is going to gunsling the ball. You saw what Antonio Brown did. All those guys. Wheaton, oh my goodness. Even Darius Hayward-Bay had 100 yards and a touchdown. Come on now. That's a come on now moment right there. John Brown's going to have a big game. Look for him to get a touchdown and over 100 yards receiving. Thank you guys. Tune in. Pay attention to those predictions. And hopefully you guys enjoy football.